Good morning, everyone. I wanted to hop on for a few minutes today and talk with you about what today is and why it's important to me. Um, First off, though, I wanted to thank you all for all your prayers and love and support you've given me in these months. I really wouldn't be on here talking to you if you had not done those prayers and given me the love and support that you've given me in so many ways. Some of you, so many of you, have just been so gracious to me during this time, and I pray that God will bless you for helping me, for praying for me, and helping me. I also wanted to ask, did you pray for me during this little talk? Because you know what? Today's a hard day for me, but that's not what this is about. And you'll understand in a minute why it's a hard day. But I just want to be able to talk with you about what today means, and because I think that this is the best way to honor Ashley today, and to also honor Jesus and what he was doing on this day a year ago in our lives. And so today marks the last time that Ashley and I got to visit together before the Lord was going to take her to heaven in just 6 short weeks. She came to visit me today a year ago, and I was so happy to see her. In recent years, when she and I would visit, she would always be very, very guarded. And by that, I mean, like it would, when I would hug her, she would be very hard or just very guarded. And I know why she was that way, but that's not what today's video is about either. Today's video is about just how totally different she was when she came. We set the plans on the day before, and to be honest with you, a lot of times, in fact, most times, when she and I set plans, they were not followed through. Even birthday plans. She would call the day of or hour before or something. She'd be sick. Maybe her husband was sick. Something happened at work, but she wouldn't be able to come. So I wasn't putting a lot of stock in her coming today to visit a year ago, because I just, I didn't know. And but that morning I woke up and I thought, well, if she does come, I don't have anything to offer her for breakfast. So I had ran out to the grocery store and was picking up some things I knew that she loved. And while I was in the store, she messaged me and said she was on her way. So I was like, oh my goodness, I was so excited that she was coming to visit. And so she got here, and you guys, she was just so Ashley. She just come in with big open arms, and she hugged me and hugged me, and her eyes were dancing. She was just smiling, and she was so happy. And she came in and sat down, and I was like, "Well, you look like you're doing really good today. What's going on with you?" And she starts telling me about a man that she had been watching, whose videos she had been watching. If you came to her funeral, you heard me talk about this. Um, and I would say she got here probably around 9:15. So I'm doing this during the time she and I would have been visiting. And she just started telling me all about this guy and the things that he was saying on the videos, that he could take a Bible verse and just say in a few minutes what a pastor would take about 45 minutes to say. And just, you know, but that he also took like music videos that are current and today's, events, and showed how they were being used by Satan, that they were occultic in nature and things like this, and that his His social media platforms kept getting taken down, but he would just start them over. And I mean, she just bubbled over with with the truth, with God, with all that I had put into her as she was being raised. Ah, not going to apologize for tears, but I have asked God to not let me cry because I don't want it to upset you. But I'll never apologize for my tears for her. But I was so happy that day. So she went on talking, and she was talking in the course and saying in the course of events that um, that this gentleman had done a video about the rapture and revelations and things like that, which she loved studying revelations her whole life. And um but in the course of that she says, but mom, I'm not worried about that. She said, because if I die, I know I'm going to heaven when I die. She said, but still in his videos he blah 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 blah. Well, I knew that she knew the Lord and was a Christian. And but what a beautiful gift God gave me that day to hear her say that in our last visit, and to have that assurance, because the Lord knew that he was going to be receiving her in just a few short weeks. And so that was such a beautiful gift God gave us that day. And it also gave me the gift of knowing that he was preparing Ashley, and he used this individual in a big way to prepare her to meet him, like, because she had not been in church. And that's another reason I wanted to share this today. I know there's so many parents who have raised their child like I did, who, who their children are not serving the Lord like we would want to see them serve the Lord. And I just want this to serve as an encouragement to you, that you don't know what God is going to do or who God is going to use before your child meets him, to prepare them to be ready to see him, because he certainly used this person. And actually, he didn't, he didn't use necessarily me talking to her or me trying, if I ever condemned her, or me telling her she needed to go to church, or me telling her, which I didn't do those things. But I'm just saying, as a mother, it was very hard not to do those things. It was very, very hard to just release her to God's hands continuously, because, I knew that the truth was in Ashley. And if you've raised your child to know the Lord, the truth's in them also. And that truth will rise up. It will rise up in them, just like it did in her. And so I just want some of this to encourage you also, if you have children that are not in church like you want to see them be. Because that day God gave me so much hope. And I just sat here. She stayed with me till about, I want to say 2:30 or 2:45. She was here almost 6 hours that day. That did not happen. That just did not happen, that she would come visit me like that. She was off work that day. And but we might see each other 30 minutes for lunch when we got to see each other in those last few years. And so but she just never looked at her phone. She was just bubbling over with with this guy in these videos, and talked about the Lord almost the whole time she was here. We also talked about my Etsy store because I had told her about it the last time she was here. And we looked at some stuff on that. And other than that, that's the only things that we talked about was the Lord. So when it came time for her to leave, we went outside. And of course, had little Oliver, and he went outside. And she and I were standing on the sidewalk there at the porch. And I had this little thought that went through my spirit. We had hugged by, but we were still standing there talking. And this thought went through my mind that said, this would be the last time I saw her. And I immediately pushed that thought aside. Because as moms, we do have thoughts like that. And sometimes it's the enemy. But on that day, it wasn't the enemy. But that thought made me just sort of look at her. And I remember that Ashley said, "What? What's I said, "Are you feeling okay? You're doing okay, right?" Because she had not talked about anything other than what I'm discussing with you. And she said, "Yeah, Mom, I'm fine." And I said, "Okay." And so I just gave her another big hug and told her I loved her. She said she loved me. So I just, even though I'm saying that through tears, I just wanted to share that with you because, God was getting me ready. He was preparing me. And, but I immediately turned that thought off. But yet, when I look back on today, that thought is such a comfort to me that he was whispering to me, he was with us. And so she went ahead and left, and doing like moms do. I walked to the end of the driveway. I live in a cul-de-sac. I watched her car out the street. Um, but that's not what today's about. And today's about sharing with you what God was doing, and to just encourage you. If you feel like you don't know the Lord, first I want to encourage you to please meet Him. Because you don't know when your last breath will be. She did not. She had no idea, and neither did I or any of her family. We did not know that she would meet Jesus so suddenly. But He was preparing her and me for her to go to Him, and I'm thankful for that. So, but I also don't want to scare parents if they have that kind of thought, because I know as a parent, those things do go through your mind. But in this case, it was actually the Holy Spirit preparing me. And so, and I'm so grateful to Him. I'm so, so grateful to Him. He has not left me comfortless. He, He has been so wonderful during this time. And I'm so grateful to Him for His graciousness. But, if you don't know Him, you have no idea what you're missing. And so I just wanted to hop on today. I wanted to share these things with you. I wanted to tell you I love you, that God loves you. And I hope that this will serve as an encouragement for you. I am going to put the link of the last video that she sent me that day after she left that day until way after midnight, my friends. She sent me videos of this guy, and we talked about it. And this went on, like I said, till up in the night. And then later in August, she sent me more videos of him. And in fact, I wanted to share before I get off, just how some of the things that she said, because it's one thing as a mom to get on here and say, "Oh, she was saying these things or doing these things," but these are her actual words. After watching some of his videos a few weeks later, she said, "Mom, God is really using him greatly. I love watching him. I've seen all of his videos and I share them with my friends. I try not to send you videos of him that talk about things that make me uncomfortable." Well, that's going to be the satanic type stuff and all. Those of you who know me closely, I believe in him, but he doesn't have a place in my life. I don't watch any of that kind of stuff. But anyway, she says, so I only tried to send you videos that I feel like you will be able to relate to. She says, "I am definitely not afraid of the spirit of the devil. I just don't want to send you anything that you might not want to watch. I also know I've seen a lot of music videos that maybe you haven't. She says, and I have seen a lot of stuff on social media, a lot more than I care to see. Like there is some music that's all over social media that the devil, he is working so very hard, Mom. I try actively to avoid them, but somehow they still show up in my feed, especially certain artists, and I don't want people to think that I support them. This is a really hard time for everyone, but we can keep it honest, Mom. We just need to pray. I love you so much, and I'm heading to bed. This is just not how Ashley and I talked a lot. Although the truth was in her, God did a real work in her leading up to receiving her to heaven, um, and I just am so grateful to Him for answering my prayers. Not the way that I thought He would, but He did answer, and He is so wonderful, my friends. So I love you. Thank you. I've taken more of your time than I meant to. I will share the link of this individual. I have not watched all of his videos, so don't think I'm, promoting him per se. But just to give you an idea of, who God uses and how He uses them. The last video that she shared with me in particular is very special, and that is the one that I will put in my comments so that you can hear it, and then you can go to him and see other videos if you'd like to. But I love you, and thank you again so much for everything, and I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.